Hello, everyone. This is our 60th episode, a milestone of Sunny Fireside with the President, Jeff Walker. And we've been having a great time for all these 60 episodes. And we're going to have a great time tonight. We got some powerful guests. We got Emeritus Gerald General. We got Brother Paul Walker. Excuse me, Paul Sweeny, my fault. And I believe that's Brother Andrew Blanks. And
Can
we
you hear me?
welcome everybody to our 60th episode of Sunny Fireside Sportstake. We talk about the strength of sports. And Jeff, give us an overview of where we have been and where we're going.
Well, basically, where we've been is we started out as a very small unit, and we're now expanding. And now we have Third Ward Sports to go along with Sunny Side Sports. So now we're expanding, and we're getting more and more people now to come on in. And right now, what we want to talk about now is some NBA trades. We had some interesting trades that happened last week. So I would like to start out by talking about the NBA trades and what the landscape is of the NBA now after this last swoop of trades. So I'd like to start out with that. Can we do that?
Go ahead, brothers. Get started with
All
it.
right.
Let's talk
All
about
right.
the
Let's go ahead
trade
and get
and
started.
mention also that Chris Paul has retired.
Okay, yes. Toronto traded for and waived Chris Paul, and then he went ahead and retired. I was really hoping that there was a possibility that the Rockets may consider picking up Chris Paul, depending on what kind of shape he's in and where his head is. But obviously, he's decided to go ahead and retire, so he's off the board. Atlanta traded Trae Young to Washington for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. That was a pretty good trade. The Atlanta wanted to get from under Trae Young's massive contract. So that was a pretty good trade for them to get him under that contract, especially if they don't think that they were going to be able to move any further. They were not progressing toward a championship. And so when you got to understand, this guy has a big contract coming up, so they got to make a decision. Then we look at the trade when you got Dallas trading Anthony Davis. Now that was interesting. Now I don't think anyone anticipated that trade.
I did.
Dallas trading. You did? You anticipated they
Yes,
were going
sir.
to trade Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum for Chris Middleton, Tyus Jones, AJ Johnson, and Marvin Bagley. But they also got 2 first-round picks out of this and 3 second-round picks out of this. Another interesting trade. The Cavaliers traded for James Harden. That's interesting now because now you have James Harden in the backcourt with Donovan Mitchell. That's a very interesting, explosive lineup. Because Donovan is averaging 29 a game, and Harden's averaging 25 a game. And then you have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen up front. So that's an interesting team there. I kind of like that team, at least for this season and maybe next season. And then you kind of, you have to get it maybe filter out. But you got to understand, Garland was 26 years old, and Harden is 35 years old. So that's the difference. But I think Cleveland is going for it now. They want to win it now. They see an opportunity in the East right now, and they want to go for it now. So I can understand why Cleveland would make that trade. Also, Memphis. I was surprised that Memphis made this trade. They traded Jaren Jackson to Utah for basically scraps and 3 first-round picks. So they obviously wanted to get rid of Jaren Jackson, but you have to understand, Jaren Jackson got a huge contract coming up, and a lot of these guys they don't want to pay that contract. Those contracts will be around $80 million a season. So a lot of teams will be getting off of these players if they don't feel like they're worth to 75 to $80 million a season. So he goes to the Utah, Jaren Jackson. In Indiana, traded for Zumbach from the Clippers. That was a very interesting trade. Now they got them a center, so when they get the other guy, the starting point guard that's out. What's his name? They got the starting point guard that's out.
Tyrese
Maybe.
Halliburton.
Exactly. When they get him back, they should have a really good team to go along with Zubac. He should fit in with that team very well. Boston traded Anthony Simmons along with a second round pick, and they picked up a good big man, Nikola Vucevic. I think that guy can play. Vucevic can play. He's averaging 17 points, 9 rebounds a game this season. So that's an interesting trade for them. So there were a lot of very interesting
Jeff, let's take
trades.
a break for a second, Jeff. I want to ask, has everybody seen the fights that just happened in the NBA? Daryl, did you see them? What
I
you think,
did.
and what's going to be the result of those things?
Well, fights happen. It's not the NBA we grew up with, but I tell you what we did grow up with was the bad boys. And in this fight, you saw the new generation bad boy and Isaiah Stewart. So I know the initial fight was not between him, but he's the enforcer. He is bringing back the bad boys. And he's one of those guys like Beverly and Dylan Brooks that if he's on your team, you love him. But if he's not, you hate him because he gets into it with everybody.
Are you talking about Isaiah Stewart?
Yes, I am. He is not going to let anybody bully his player. This guy has been suspended already 5 times. We're not even talking about ejections. He has hit anybody and everybody. He went after LeBron, which is a no-no in this league. But so yeah, that's why he got the biggest suspension because he is that guy. He is the new. I'm not gonna say Ron Artest, but he is the new enforcer, and he is bringing the bad boy energy back to Detroit.
I agree.
Very much so. Paul, you seen the fights? You got any comment on that?
Not much. I didn't see much of the fight. I heard something the other day on the news that there's what Detroit Pistons have got more thrown out of the games or more technicals than what season. And the answer that they gave me, I was a little shocked. And it was Rich Hamilton back in the day. You don't even think of him as being a rough guy. So I guess Detroit been rough for a while.
Going back to the bad boy days. Phil, you have a comment on that?
Yeah, there was another fight actually also Minnesota and Atlanta. That was a little milder, but they were going at it in that game too. And Minnesota beat them by 20. But those guys weren't taking nothing off each other either. It was a little headbutting, a little pushing, and jersey grabbing in that too. So that's just the other side of the fight. The Detroit fight got all the pub, but that was the same night that happened. And Minnesota actually won by 22.
Cause it's actually been settled. The suspensions have been settled. They suspended Isaiah Stewart 7 games. Miles Bridges got 4 games. Jalen Duren got 2 games. So it's already been settled. But I thought that Isaiah Stewart should have received a higher suspension than 7 games. That guy came off the bench and went running across the floor throwing blows. He should have been suspended for more than 7 games, in my opinion. Especially when him being a repeat offender.
Hello, Brother Blanks. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right.
You have any comment on that?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I feel like the guys should be able to control themselves a little bit better. But you know how they go with the sports. So, I grew up in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, so there was always fighting on the football.
Of course.
There was a famous fight back in the day when Willis Reed fought the whole Los Angeles Lakers and beat all of them. So fights have a long tradition.
Well, Calvin Murphy had a great punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick hands.
He would always fight guys a foot taller than him, though.
Well, he had no choice. Everybody in the league was a foot taller.
That's right. And it didn't matter. So it didn't matter.
Calvin liked jumping. Calvin liked to jump up and hit you.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't miss either.
But Isaiah Thomas was like that too. Isaiah was only 6 feet, but he was always involved in fights too.
Absolutely.
He was the baddest of the bad boys.
King Olajuwon was a baller.
Oh yeah.
Before his fate. Before his fate kicked in. Yeah, he was.
Before then, he hit you rather than say something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeff, go back into the trade and sum that up.
Yeah, I like what the Warriors did. They had to get rid of Jonathan Kuminga. He didn't want to be there anymore. He'd been disgruntled all off season, and he's hoping to be traded this off season. And finally, he got traded. And then they picked up. They sent him and Buddy Hield to Atlanta for Kristaps Porzingis. So now they finally got some height on that front line to go with Draymond Green now, and then they got Curry in the backcourt. So that's going to be interesting because Porzingis can stay healthy. He's going to help that team if he can stay healthy. Now that's a big if, but that's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out.
Very much a big if. Go ahead, Daryl.
Well, I want to go back to Jeff saying he didn't understand the Memphis trade. I understand it. John Morant changed the trajectory of that franchise with his nonsense and his off the field things, and so they're going in a full rebuilding mode. And to do that, they couldn't get rid of John. They tried, but nobody wants him at the amount that they still want for him. So they got rid of Jackson. But they are now in the category of like Oklahoma City, with the draft capital that they have, so that they're going to be able to rebuild pretty quickly. And unfortunately, Jackson was just a casualty of the whole Morant fiasco.
All right, I want to change trajectories a little bit. We just had the Super Bowl. Was anybody surprised that Seattle dominated? As well as what is the result of the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime? Is it a win or is it a loss? Paul, what you think?
I'm not surprised that they dominated the Super Bowl. I think they were favorites to win. I'm not surprised they dominated. As far as the Bad Bunny, I enjoyed it. It was a history lesson, actually. I enjoyed it better than last year's Super Bowl when it became a rapper's beef. You know, they're still talking about the beef. This was the history of Puerto Rico, the lights going out, the hurricane back in 2017, and the pride they had in their home country. I did a little research. They had a flag. They flew a Puerto Rican flag, which had light blue on it. And the light blue was represented a flag that they had in Puerto Rico. It was illegal to fly that flag because it stands for freedom. And if you had that flag in your home with the light blue on it, they could just come in your house and search your house. And if they found that flag, you would get 10 years. So there's a lot of history going on that, a lot that we wouldn't know about, but I just had to do some research on it because it was more than entertainment. But they took advantage of the time that they got. The Puerto Ricans, you know, the flags that they flew of all Americans, South Americans. They included everybody. And this time in this country, I think we needed to see some diversity.
So do you think the Super Bowl as a whole, it was a win for them? And of course, Jay-Z is the one that helped set it up. So is that a win?
I think it's a win.
Okay. Brother Blanks, you there? You have a comment on that?
My position is that there's a light in life that we don't know about. There's a light in life that we do know about. There's a light in life that we care about. There's a light in life we don't care about. But Bad Bunny showed that he cared about a lot more than people think. And that brought the attention of the world to this situation. Remember when the president went over and the last time there was trouble there, he threw tissues at people.
He did.
Okay, so we're in a situation now where we have to understand that we are all still one. One of the first places that they dropped some of us off when we came over here was the Caribbean.
Amen.
Okay, so when you know your history and you know where you've been, you kind of know where you're going. But overall, I think it was a great trajectory for them to establish it the way that they did. And as far as the game itself was concerned, I got my Seattle hat here at the house.
Understood. And I think it's bigger than just President Trump in the current circumstances. It's a bigger thing.
Right.
You say,
absolutely.
Derek?
Well, one of the biggest criticisms I heard was, well, we don't know what he's saying. We don't understand. But just like Brother Blanks did, do your research. You know, read. All you got to do is Google it. And for the ones who said we didn't understand, I don't think there's anybody on this panel who doesn't know. Let me think of one. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough by Michael Jackson. We all know that song. We all love it. Every time it come on, we jam it. I dare any one of us to say the lyrics. None of us know what Michael Jackson said until he get to Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. So don't worry about what he's saying. Just listen to the music and then do your research like Brother Blanks did.
Understood.
Carl.
Go ahead.
He spoke the only English that he spoke during the Super Bowl. Do you know what it was?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
The only English he spoke during the whole performance was at the end. God bless America.
Yep, that's what he said. Fortunately for me, I was privileged to go to Puerto Rico and stay a few days. So seeing what they were having out there, it was real familiar. You know, we watched the people roll the cigars. You go through the rolling hills and see those little huts like that, one next to the other, and they're doing fish, they're doing jewelry, they're doing coffee. And the people are just incredibly kind. And then, you know, for me, we were lucky to stay at one of the resorts So there they brought everything we needed right there. And it was masterful how they cooked and partied and just made you feel, and then, a lot of people went out on the water, snorkeling. Water just beautiful in the mountains. And it's just like, you have to, just see what he was trying to convey. This is what we have. This is what we do. It's not much different. You just have to get with it, So that's how I saw it. It was great. It was great. I know I felt the vibe, and I like vibes.
Sounds
Well,
great.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when I ran track at Texas Southern, a great deal of our team was from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hector Zarate went to the Olympics for Puerto Rico. Arnaldo Bristol went to the Olympics for Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And so those guys, and there were several others there, and they were also a part of the TSU riot and got caught up in things. When they got pushed, they couldn't hardly speak anything but Spanish at the time, and that didn't help them at all. But my point is that it's such a wide open situation here where we all have things to learn and to be a part of.
Yeah.
And like I say, they were great. And I still, to this day, I still talk to those guys every chance I can get.
Awesome.
And everybody knows Puerto Rico is a territory of the United
States.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Jeff, talk about the prospects for next year NFL as well as the coaching situation. And I'm sure a lot of people have comments on that. Jeff.
Well, the coaching situation, a lot of us are quite natural, especially being Black History Month. We're not too happy about what just happened. I mean, you just had all these coaching openings, or 8 to 10 coaching openings, and not one brother, not one Black man, not one African American was selected for one of these positions, not one. And it looked like to me, all they're doing is regurgitating the same guys. Go from one team to the next. Okay, you get fired over here, and then we'll hire you over here. And they just regurgitating these guys, and they're not giving the brothers a chance at the opportunities. So you sit here and they hire, you got the Raiders, you got the Giants, you got the Browns, you got the Falcons, you got the Arizona Cardinals, you got the Ravens and the Bills and the Miami Dolphins. And all of them hired new coaches, and not one African American coach, not one. So not one coach was hired Black, and we still have no owners. So we really have a major issue within NFL, and we still have the country club. We're still dealing with the country club. It's just that we have more African American players, but we're still dealing with the country club mentality.
Brother Blanks, what's your comment on that?
Think about this. How many Black coaches are there with Black quarterbacks? How many more do you want to be coaching? And to have a Black coach and Black quarterback. So let's look at the whole perspective of the situation. They're making decisions that does not gel with a lot of us, and they're making decisions that we think should be changed and done. But we're going to get our chances because some of them are really not going to make it. I see a couple of them I believe are going to fail before the year is over with. I won't call their names, but they're new and it's going to work out. But that's my turn on it. I just don't want it. I don't think they want us to see those combinations back together again.
Okay, Paul, what you think?
It hurt me. Well, Jeffrey stole my thunder. I'm pretty mad about it. It disappointed me. Man, I could boycott the NFL. I could not look at professional football for a while. It hurt me that bad, but willpower, I see what kind of willpower I have on that, but I was really disturbed behind that because if you don't think nothing of us, our race, I mean, the Rooney Rule is a joke. Don't even throw it out there if you're gonna do all this. So that's something I'm gonna have to get over, really.
Okay.
Because I know too many, just in our own city. And I'm like Coach Blanks. I'm a little younger than Coach Blanks, but he's seen a lot of great quarterbacks. He can't count on his hand how many great Black quarterbacks back in the day that should have been in the NFL but couldn't get in because of skin color. Now we got to go through all this again.
Either they'll let you in or won't let you play. Because look at what happened to Jefferson Street Joe.
Oh, yeah.
He was playing, but he wasn't winning by enough. So what they do? They threw Bradshaw in front of him. Okay? You got Eros Dickey that went out to where?
Yeah.
California. I played against him. So I'm just saying, I knew how he was from middle school through high school, through Tennessee State, because he was throwing the ball at Tennessee State to a receiver that came up from my team at Wheatley. So I've seen these changes and I've seen it go through, and I can even go back further than that about some of this stuff, but we'll deal with that later.
Daryl, what's your comment?
Well, I think the biggest thing to me was not so much who got hired, but who got fired, including Tomlin, Harbaugh, and McDermott. Those franchises, they said, you're winning, but it's not good enough. We're looking for something bigger, and if you can't bring that, then you got to go. I know a lot of people have been calling for Tomlin to leave for a long time because he was hovering around 8-8. But as a Texans fan, I would have loved to have gone 8-8 a whole bunch of those years. Then lastly, one more point. They were pretty giddy. This goes along with Jeff and Brother Sweeny. They were pretty giddy because they were in a win-win situation. It was either going to be Darnold or it was going to be Drake May. So one of us wasn't going to win this year. And I don't know when the last time they had a situation because it's been Hurts and Mahomes. And so they're going in. They were like, yes, we going to win us one.
I don't think those situations are going to last, though. The brothers are going to be back in the Super Bowl.
Most definitely.
We can see that.
Most definitely. I mean, the Super Bowl quarterback, he won a Super Bowl, but he is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not going to lead a team to win. That defense won that for them. So I put him in the category with Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. They won a Super Bowl. I can't take that away from them. Congratulations. But they were not Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. They won in the Super Bowl.
Understood, and I agree with that 100%. It's going to be interesting. Jeff, what's the prospects for next year for the Texans, you think?
Right. Outstanding, man. Your timing is perfect, Cole. I wanted to talk about the Texans. Okay. The Texans, you have to understand what's going on right now. Of course, the Texans had a 10-game winning streak to finish the season out, and then, of course, they lost in the second round of the playoffs. Now, what's going on right now is they have to get ready for the NFL draft, and then you got to get ready for free agency. So the draft, remember, they have an extra second-round pick, and they have an extra fourth-round pick. And that second-round pick, that extra second-round pick, that's like the 6th or 7th pick of the second round. That's going to be a pivotal pick. So they have the 28th pick, which is their late first-round pick, which is their own pick. Then they got that early second-round pick, and then they have their own second-round pick. And then they have a third, and they have 2 fourth-round picks. So they really need to hit on those picks. They really need to hit on those picks, because if they can hit on those picks and then pick up the right free agents, because there's some good free agents on the market, if they can come up with the right free agents and hit on those picks, they got a chance to make the difference, to put themselves in the Super Bowl. Like, for instance, you got Mike Evans, wide receiver Mike Evans. How you guys feel about him? What about Mike Evans, or you have George Pickens? Those are 2 wide receivers that's on the free agent market. How you guys feel about either one of those?
Well, not really. They franchised Pickens the other day.
Okay, they franchise. Okay, then you got Mike Evans. How you feel about Mike Evans?
Love to see him with us because he's a hometown kid. I would love to see him with us. He's a hometown kid. He would draw a crowd. He would play well, and then he's going to play well because he's at home. But it's still going to depend on what the other circumstances are with the money and how they want to distribute that around.
Okay. All right. Then you have 2 running backs on the board: Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker from the Seattle Seahawks. How do you guys feel about one of those guys? Them adding a big play running back, or do you go for a running back in the first or second round? What do you guys think?
You can get one of them 2 guys. That's a home run. Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, Darryl? How you feel about Breece Hall?
I think it'd be harder to get Walker though, because I think Seattle would be stupid to let him go, and I really believe that the Tampa Bay receiver from Galveston Ball, they love him. I don't think he's getting away. If we could get him, it'd be great.
Okay. All right. So if you had a choice between Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, you go with Kenneth Walker?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have a problem at all with Breece Hall. Don't get me wrong. He's a home run hitter too.
Can I send Ken Walker a cake? Can we send Walker a cake and bring him on?
I know that's right. Go ahead.
I like them all, but I think Josh Jacobs is also unrestricted free agent. There are a bunch of running backs out there that can help us. But I mean, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. If we don't get an offensive line, you can bring Jim Brown back.
There you go.
And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So
yeah, we got to get some line play.
It would be fantastic to have any of these guys. But
yeah.
we got to address that offensive line. We got to get CJ his cojones back. And, you know, we saw this happen with David Carr. No offensive line, and you steady getting sacked. I don't blame that kid, man. He's on his back too much. So that's a lot of pressure for him to replicate or duplicate what he did his rookie year when he doesn't have a line, he doesn't have the receivers. So, I take it of them.
And D, in that concussion that he sustained in the Denver game, I still can't get it out of my head. They didn't call a flag. They didn't do it. That was one of the most vicious concussions, quarterback hits going down that I have seen in a minute.
I agree.
That was scary, man. I can almost sympathize with him. Of course, he's in the NFL, and that's not for long. But you got to play. You get paid to play. But that hit there, I could see it could cause a guy that has a little less courage if you're not real, you know, beast-like. And I don't know if he's beast-like enough, but he's a good quarterback. And I think he just needs to understand. They do need to protect him a little better, and he has to be a little smarter when he runs. I tell you what, every time he ran after that, you can see that head on the swivel, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very astute observation. And I remember that something Jeff told me a while back on one of the shows I never forgot. And the Texas had draft picks, and he said, they need offensive linemen. They need to go straight offensive line, 2 or 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. I thought about it, and he was right. And the Texans used their draft picks, and they went and got 2 rookie wide receivers out of the same school.
Already had one on the
roster. It's really 3.
School. So they got 3.
Hutchinson was already there.
You got 2 or 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You got Josh Allen, you got Lamar, you got Patrick Mahomes. All of those are heroes, but when the offensive line didn't stand up this year, where did they go? And what was the Super Bowl? What was the Super Bowl decided by other than defense? They had a rookie lineman over there getting towed up. You got to have the Hogs up front. Football's a basic game. If you don't start up front, you know, Patrick Mahomes is a hero, we thought, but not without blocking.
Look at it this way, Joe. Look at it this way. If you're in a war, what do you send first, the tanks or the soldiers?
Okay, we got you. Okay. Let me paint you guys a scenario. If you're the Texans, okay, I'm gonna start with Daryl this time. You're the Texans GM. All right, and you coming up on the salary cap, you got free agency coming up, and you see some guys on the board you would love to pick up, like maybe perhaps a Mike Evans say he want to come to Houston. You have a Tyler Lindenbaum, who's one of the #1 center on the board, offensive lineman on the board, and so if you can come away with a Mike Evans and a Kenneth Walker, and then on the top offensive lineman on the board in free agency. In order to do that, you have to create some salary cap space. So my question to you guys is this. Would you consider trading CJ Stroud for draft cap for draft picks? First rounder, a couple of first rounders, maybe a second or third, whatever. For draft picks, and go ahead and go with Davis Mills as your starting quarterback and pay him $7 or $8 million a season, as opposed to giving CJ Stroud a 5-year deal starting at about $60 million. And go ahead and use that savings.
Hold on, Jeff. First of all, Mills make more than that right now.
How much Mills make right now?
He made more than 7-8 million. He's just signed a little while back. I think he make about 10 starting.
Okay, 10. Okay,
so
10.
You know.
Okay, 10. Okay. That's still a big difference between 10 and 60 million.
I'm just saying, but it ain't tough change.
But so what you're saying, what you're looking at is the difference there to allow you to have the maneuverability to be able to bring in other players at other positions so that you can go ahead and solidify the team. So my question is, Daryl, we'll start with you. Would you do that?
No.
So you keep CJ.
I'm keeping CJ. You can get all the draft capital you want, but we've been living long enough to know there's no such thing as a guarantee. We've seen #1 picks that didn't turn out to be squat. So there's no guarantee that getting rid of this kid is going to improve your life. What we do know is that we have a generational defense right now, and it's being squandered. All we have to do is the same thing Seattle did. Again, I hate to get on this kid like this because he is a kid, but Sam Darnold didn't do squat in the Super Bowl. He threw for 1 touchdown on a broken play. I think he had a total of 194 yards. CJ can do that. If you have that defense do what they do, the Texans can easily win a Super Bowl the same way Seattle did. We just wasted a very great year on a generational defense. I'm fine with CJ. Get him an offensive line, get him a threat at running back, and let's see what happens. If he doesn't do it then we revisit.
Look
What
at
about
it
you,
this
Phil?
way.
How you feel about that? Just the idea, just kicking it around. How do you feel about that?
Who, me?
I'll tell you what, I'll speak on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, look at it this way.
Okay.
You got enough people. You got enough size. You got enough strength.
Okay.
What do you do with what you have? Do you keep complaining about it, or do they get in there and run the plays that those people block best on? What do they do the best on? Follow that procedure. My old coach used to say, come with what brung you. And if you can't come with what brung you, you're going to come with what took you away. So use your personnel. You got personnel. So if you got to flip-flop some of them around to make that personnel become great, do it.
Right.
Don't get rid of CJ yet. I mean, he's young. He's got strength. He's got a mind. He made it through where he was, Ohio State, right?
Yep.
Sounds great, fellas. Sorry about the technical. Jeff, did we keep things going?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's good.
We good.
Yeah, everything's smooth.
Yeah.
So you guys would not consider that. So none of you guys would consider that.
I wouldn't for one reason. You have, like Coach Blank said, you have a good foundation. But the most important thing is the offense or defense. If you can't block them, you can't beat them. So once you're able to do that, then you can function better. Play action is better. All kind of stuff. CJ's good. I mean, he just had to get over what he went through. And I think that concussion jacked him up, though. You see how many weeks he missed. It took a while to recover. But we do need a running back. We do need offensive line. We could use a few other pieces.
Real good
but we need to stick. Well, that's true, but you can either get it in draft or free agent. But you got to get the line to be able to block first. You can't block them. You can't beat them.
Hannibal conquered
guys.
Italy.
Hold on.
Hannibal conquered Italy.
And
they went in and he took elephants to the Alps. How do you take an African elephant come on now. He took African elephants to the Alps. So you got to figure out, deal with what you got and make it work.
Coach. I like that.
All right, guys. Let's go back to the NBA.
Hold on,
Sweeny got something, Jeff.
Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, let's say one thing. After the playoffs, everybody was mad at Strauss, but I guess we're gonna have to show some patience with him because they fired like 9 or 10 head coaches in the NFL. They didn't get rid of the quarterbacks; they got rid of the coaches, so they're not going to move quarterbacks around that much.
Okay. All right.
2 years ago, they wanted to get rid of Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. They were. He was a bust at one point. Yeah.
No, he showed what he can do.
Yeah.
And they still have
and another thing, which I'm learning, just remember, it takes a while to mature as a quarterback in this league.
Right.
2 or 3 or 4 years, man. That's nothing in the NFL. You don't have focus. You're gonna start seeing straight. You have to have some experience, and we live in a microwave society where we think we got the next hot one, and next this and that. It's gonna take a while for anybody.
What do you think is the future of Shanir Sanders?
Given a chance,
he's gonna be
just as good
fine.
as anyone else. Given a chance,
yeah, he's gonna be just fine.
It's like getting hiring a black head coach. Given a chance, what can't we do?
Yeah,
Paul, CJ is a victim of his own success that rookie year.
Yeah.
True that.
You know, he did so well that anything below that year is going to be more heavily criticized than if he had just taken the same path that Bryce Young did. You know, take your lumps, get better. That's what's expected from anybody in any professional sport, is to improve every year. And since CJ in our mind has regressed, in our mind, based on what we saw, That's the biggest issue, and that's why that's even a question about whether or not he should be. 2 years ago, we would have gave him that $60 million right then, not waited till sign him now before he goes into free agency.
And he's made the playoffs every year.
And he has, and he's made the second round every year.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Jeff,
guys.
what you had to say?
Okay, guys, let's go back to the NBA. We got the All-Star game this weekend, right? The All-Star game this weekend? Yeah, it's this weekend. All-Star game this weekend. Y'all don't even know. All-Star game is this weekend.
We don't like to watch it, at least I don't.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay, all right. So All-Star game this weekend. So you got the World Team versus the Team Stars. You got, I think you have like 3 or 4 teams. So it should be interesting. Then you got the 3-point shootout. So that should be interesting, guys. But let's talk about the NBA as far as the teams. Looking at the teams, OKC is now coming back to the pack, of course, because they're dealing with some injury issues, like most teams dealing with some injury issues. So now OKC have lost 5 of their last 10 games now. So now they're coming back to the pack. All of a sudden, San Antonio is only 2 games behind OKC in the loss column. So don't count out San Antonio. That team there has really shocked me. Who is surprised that San Antonio is sitting at 38-16? Isn't this Wemby's second season? Who's surprised that they're this good, this fast?
I'm not, because of how they have drafted and put their personnel together. Those other players, Castle, Vessel, De'Aaron Fox. So I'm not surprised.
Well, they got great culture too.
Yeah, they do. They do. And right now, Houston is sitting in the 4th spot. They tied with Denver in the loss column, but Denver has 2 more wins because they play more games. And then, of course, the Lakers only half a game behind Houston. So right now, the Western Conference is really tight, man. When you look at teams 3 through 7, there's like 2 games separating those teams. So everything, Houston can finish anywhere between 3 and 7. It's going to be real tight. And don't count out Golden State sitting in that 8th spot. Houston don't want to play Golden State in the first round again. They don't want to play Golden State again in the first round. Not with them adding 7'3" Porzingis now to go along with Draymond Green. Houston was already was scared of Draymond Green. I really believe that Draymond Green intimidated the Rockets in the playoffs last season. I saw Jalen Green intimidated. I saw him nut up twice. I saw him.
That's why he's not in Houston, Jeff.
Huh?
That's why he's not in Houston.
Exactly. I saw Draymond Green told him, man, go paint your fingernails. And he just looked at him and had nothing to say. I'm like, man, how you going to tell me that? So anyway, just saying, I'm really, really surprised.
I want to say again that Jaylen Brown of Boston is the #1 MVP candidate for me.
Okay.
I think he's earned.
You know how
Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics.
You know how to win the league? You got to have 2 things: some intelligent thugs and some grown men.
Intelligent thugs. Okay.
Okay. Now you talk about size. You talk about Wemby's size. What happened when the Houston had Ralph Sampson and Elijah Wan? Did we win?
No, sir.
Well,
we did
right
get
there.
to the championship, though.
That's the ultimate win. We
and year 2,
we won big.
Did we win it all?
Nope.
We did not.
No.
But in year 2, we were in the finals. The only reason why that team did not win a championship is because of drugs.
Okay, hold on. But when we did win, we had 2 little small guards who were what? Intelligent thugs.
Oh, yeah.
But Elijah Wan was much better by that time. I mean, that's night and day. Elijah was way better in 94, 95 than he was back in 86.
I'm just getting at the point. You got to put a team together that's going to follow what you want done, man.
There you go.
But that team still would have won. You got to realize. Think about it. In a half a season, they lost John Lucas, and then they came right back to the first part of the next season and lost Lewis Lloyd and Mitchell Wiggins. Those are your top 3 guards. So how you gonna win when you lose your top 3 guards just like that?
Well, they were good, but Boston was a beast.
And Ralph Sampson got hurt.
Now you talking, Phil.
Right.
Boston was a beast.
It's not like they played scrubs.
No, when they played on
they played the team of the decade.
They did.
Yeah.
They played one of the greatest power forwards, whether you like him or not. Bird was a beast. And he was a beast. We had our chance. But you got we had our chances, but even you know, it took a miraculous shot by Ralph Sampson to get there.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but Ralph
So-
didn't bring his jockey strap to the Celtics championship series. He didn't do nothing to the series.
Well,
He didn't
used
bring
it all
it
up.
against
He
Bird
used
and
it all up on
McHale.
that shot in LA.
Yeah, he was going against Bird and McHale too, and the Chief. Them all in the
you
Hall of
scared?
Fame.
So you
All
saying
three
he's
Hall of
scared?
Fame.
You saying he was scared?
I didn't say that.
No,
You
he
said.
was up against
Okay.
talent.
I just said
Jeff.
he was up against Hall of Famers.
Still, he's
Still.
7 for 4. He's supposed to be a player of the year. And come
Well,
on, man.
he wasn't a match for them three.
Okay.
President,
He had a last one. He didn't have to do it by himself. He had a
Well,
last one.
Elijah won played this game. We're not talking about it. We're talking about Rap. Elijah won
But
did.
Ralph didn't bring
hold
it.
up.
And I totally agree, but I'm telling you why. He played against three.
All
All
right,
right,
let big man speak.
Paul, what you had to say?
What do you got, son?
Well, we'll go back to Coach Blanks. Present day, the Rocket don't seem to have no intelligent thugs or grown men. They got a lot of kids. They got a lot of kids. They got one vet, and they don't seem to be responding to their coaching right now. I go to the games. People don't come to the games no more. If you look at the Rockets on TV, the seats that you see are empty are season ticket holders. They the ones that know the Rockets. So we got some stuff going on in Houston. It's gonna come out too.
Hey, I have a famous, and look here, I have a famous saying. I'm gonna ask all you guys. Here's the question: if at first you don't succeed, what?
try
give up?
again.
No,
You
do
give
what
up and go
no.
home?
If at first you don't succeed, do what your coach told you to do the first time.
Well, that's different. Yes, sir.
All right,
Okay.
guys. The Winter Olympics is going on. I don't know if anybody's paid attention, but a black girl has won a gold medal. Erica Jackson. That's a kind of a new thing. Snoop Dogg is over there talking about how high he is. He's talking about the plateau, not necessarily the ingredients, but Winter Olympics is something that we don't get into very much, but it is happening, and more Black people are getting into different winter activities. So we give a shout out to that. Also, the World Cup is about to happen around the corner here in Houston. So that's an activity going on. More and more people are involved with. Brother Blanks, you have any comments about it? Either of those?
Winter Olympics. Remember, before the speed skater won this year, there was a male who was a black speed skater that won several Olympics ago. Don't forget Sarah Bonalay. When she did her backflip, what did they do? They wanted to suspend her and find her. Now anybody can do them, and it's okay. Okay, but I think it's been a great one. I love the fact that I still don't understand curling, but I'll deal with it. But the Winter Olympics have been exciting. I mean, I like the pipes and how they flip up in the air and turn around. But I'm gonna stay on the ground, so you guys can do what you want to do. But hey, number one, it's too cold. But it's been great so far.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay. All right.
Any other comments about Winter Olympics or World Cup?
Well, I want to go to Lindsey Vonn right quick.
Okay.
Man, we tease people like AD and AD. Let's just stop there. But it's got to be so hard to be elite, not just good at something, but to be elite and have all those injuries. Lindsey Vonn, I looked this up. She's had ACL sprains, broken fingers, ACL tear, tore ACL again, broken ankle, multiple fractures in the left knee, severe fractured humerus in the upper arm, LCL tear, meniscus damage. She retired after suffering a knee injury. She had a knee replacement. She tore her left ACL and a tibial fracture, which she just did. But after all those things I said before, she still was elite enough to make it back to the Olympics. So, yeah, we like to say, man, she just fragile. AD is just fragile. But when you look beyond that, when you peel back the layers and you say, man, I wonder how it feels to know that you're the best at what you do, but you can't do it. So I have to sympathize with her. I'm not gonna make fun of her. And seeing that, I'm gonna stop making fun of AD fragile a little bit too, and say, man, you know what? Just for the God's grace go I.
And in spite of that, he's had a great career. In spite
I
of all
still
the
say he's
injuries.
not among the top 75, though, but that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah, well, he's right outside it if he's not in it, but he still had a great career because of the injury. Let me tell you this. If Bill Walton in there, yeah, he in there, and Bill Walton is in there. You go put their stats side by side, and I bet you $100 his stats are better than his.
I'm not sure Walton should be in there because
okay, then say that. Then I can live with that. But he in there.
Okay.
But Walton is based on his college career, which was fabulous, and his semi-pro career, which he probably played 12 years and only 6 were healthy. So I mean, you know, but
see, when you
AD
start
is better
talking
than
about taking out people like Bernard King and Alex English,
I never.
see, I don't agree with that. But you know, that's a whole nother
I don't even look
subject.
at those
We
kind
can
of
have a
lists.
whole show about that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, guys, we're towards the end of our show, but I want to talk about local sports. Paul, have you heard anything about local sports? I hear Seven Lakes, whoever they are the top team in basketball. Have you heard anything, Paul?
I've heard some things. I've seen some highlights of Seven Lakes. I'm not sold, but you know, that's high school basketball for you. It's going to come down to Yates, Booker T, Washington, Wheatley. They're playing some good ball in the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good. That's a good thing.
Seven Lakes is out of Katy, and they are basically undefeated. I think they're 31 or 33-0 right now.
Wow.
But that just reminds me of the old Wheatley teams, you know.
Which you know a lot about.
Eddie Owens and all those guys. So, I mean, hey, you know, it's nothing new to see that in Houston.
Coach, real quick while I got you on this subject, the Dunlap twins, recently one of them just passed away. I worked with Don. I know you remember from Sci-Fair, right?
Right.
Yeah, the older twin, Ron, died about 2 years ago, and Don I went to his funeral a week before last.
I hate to hear that, but you know they were a great group of kids.
They were.
That's when Sci-Fair the first time I think they played after we went from
71.
Right. After the league switched, because you know I was
they
a part
integrated
of
Sci-Fair. They integrated Sci-Fair. Yeah,
absolutely. But I was I can't speak anything because I was a part of PVIL, baby. So it's nothing better than that nowhere in the country.
One more thing, Carl.
Go ahead.
One more thing. Lamarck, Texas. They have a very good basketball team. Also, and since y'all talking about twins, they have 3 sets of twins on that team.
3 sets of twins?
Yeah, 3 sets.
And they hard to beat. They're hard to beat.
What they 3A, Paul? 3A?
Lamarck, they either 4 or down to 3.
4A.
Okay.
But they have 3 sets of twins. They have a pretty good basketball team. And on the lighter side, on the Olympics, Snoop Dogg, he got a hard job, but somebody got to do it.
He's everywhere for sure.
Yep.
He's making it happen.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we toward the end of our show. Jeff, do you have a final comment?
My final comment is JY. Congratulations to Jack Gates. 100-year birthday. 100th birthday this week. We enjoyed it. We went to church together on Sunday. It was beautiful. It was just wonderful. Then we also celebrated today at JY. So congratulations to Jack Gates. 100 years birthday. We thank you.
All right. Well,
and JY sitting at 15-1, sitting at the top of the division, top of the district at 15-1. So I love that. I love that we finally beat Booker T. Washington. We lost to him early in the season. We came back and beat him this past week. So we sitting at 15-1, number 1 in the district. So thank you. Congratulations to
yes,
Greg
my
Weiss.
brother. Go ahead,
Yes.
Hey Rocket.
All right, guys. Just so you know, for everybody here should know, but those who are listening, here on behalf of A Rocket Moving and Storage, the fine sponsor of this fine talk show that we just enjoyed. We're your full service mover since 1959. We do local, commercial, residential, and interstate moving, located 3401 Quarter, Houston, Texas. And A Rocket is now run by second generation DeAndre Sam. And give us a call. We can take care of any of your needs. We are located in Third Ward, 3401 Quarter, 713-748-6024. Come and see our new warehouse, 62,000 square foot climate control. We will vault up your items, and we would be more than happy to service you at any and every opportunity you have to give us a call. 713-748-6024. A-Rocket Moving and Storage, fine sponsor of this fine show that we are enjoying tonight. And we will continue to sponsor this show going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Brother
you.
Phil. We are at the end of our show. We had an interesting conversation as well as some technical difficulties. I apologize for, but I hope everybody continued on. Sometimes things happen, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with our 61st episode of Sunny Fireside Sports Take with the President Jeff Walker and all of our powerful guests. We thank everybody. Anybody got a shout out for a final word? We are in track season, guys. Look out for the track, TSU relays, Texas relays. I'm gonna go to the Penn relays. You know I love track. I always got to give a shout out for it. And this is what's happening. Anybody got a shout out?
Hey,
Shout out to
tomorrow.
the University of Houston Cougars.
Hold on, Jeff. Brother Bryce got a comment.
Okay, tomorrow I will be announcing the meet at Marshall High School for the Buffalo Relays. In 2 weeks, don't forget too, I'll tell you, look out for Yates this year in track. Look out for them. The old schools will still be there. My two boys that are over at Summer Creek and Tascasita, they'll be rolling. And my guy that I also coached over at Klein Forest, they'll be rolling. So it's going to be an interesting season. And I hear that the track is supposed to be getting fixed at TSU. So look out for the relays to be gangbusters this year.
Okay, sounds good.
One thing real quick too, Coach Banks, I'll be real brief. Paul Sweeney's son is coaching over at Yates track team. So let's give Paul a shout out. That son of his is a good football player. He coached football this year, and he's part of the great track team.
You got it. You got it. And Lloyd Banks is back over there too. Don't forget that.
That's right.
Well, congratulations to the Houston Cougars. They had dropped all the way down to 8th seed, but now they won some games. Now they moved all the way up to number 3 now. So right now they only trail Arizona and Michigan as far as in the top 20 in the NCAAs. And of course, over in the women department, UConn sitting at 25-0, ranked 1. UCLA at 23-1 and the number 2 seed. So it's getting hot, guys. It's going to get hot because the tournament's going to be starting up here in a couple more weeks. So it's going to get real hot. So we're going to be watching a whole lot of March Madness. So get ready. Get ready, guys.
All right, guys. This is Sunny Fireside Sports Take. We'll see you 2 weeks. If it's sports, if it's happening, it's going on, check us out. Sunny Fireside Sports Take. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you.